here we are. I don't know what episode this is. We're getting close to 60.
I don't know. We're going to keep it live and upbeat. Hell yeah. It's been a while.
So,
We're back.
yeah, we need to discuss the hair.
The hair, Dan, the hair is ridiculous. I know. It's sticking up. For those viewers who are not, it's sticking up. It's really fucked up, and I got a headband on, which is not a popular fashion choice these days. It's not like you see a lot of dudes walk around with fucking headbands on.
You do not.
No, especially not 57-year-old men. So, but so I stopped getting my hair cut because of money reasons. I mean, I was getting high and tights for the past. A high and tight is like a military fade. It grows in fast. You got to get it every fucking 3 weeks, and prices were rising. It was like 25. Then I found that 35. So it got to the point where it's like $45 out the door for a high and tight, and then you got to get one every 3 weeks. So lately, I've been in my extreme, cheapskate stage because I'm an artist that makes no money. I'm an extreme cheapskate now, and I'm like, you know what? No more haircuts. And Ro was like, my better half is like, well, what's the plan? And I'm like, there's no fucking plan. I'm just not going to get. There's going to be a lot of hats in my future, a lot of hats. And I was doing the hat thing, like bucket hats and stuff, but it's 113 degrees out here, Dan. So it is. It's literally 113. So I'm like, no hats. I don't want to wear hats. So this lets the fucking. So I know I look ridiculous, but Dan, I just don't care anymore. Like, I love not caring anymore. I don't care, And so no more haircuts, and I shave once a week. And when I do shave, I use the fucking safety blade that you put it in, and it's like 10 cents for like the razor blade, and it's metal,
Right.
That's what I use. And by the way, Dan off air, he called me. What did you call me? Unkempt and disheveled.
No, I said unsanitary.
Yeah, and I took offense. I'm not unsanitary. It's very clean. I use shampoo, obviously. Another money-saving tactic I'm using, Dan, is in the shower. Instead of using, like these expensive body soaps, it's straight up blue dishwashing Dawn detergent. Big thing, dishwashing, and Ro was like, "Are you washing your body with Dawn dishwashing detergent?"
If it's good enough for those ducks, it's good enough for you.
That's what I said. It's good enough for the ducks. It's good enough for me. And she's like, "Oh my god." And I'm like, well, listen, that's what's happening. So that's what it's like. I had to address my appearance. I know it's shocking for some, but look, I just rolled out I just been like working in the studio all night. I'll take a nap, and then I'll get ready to go out, and I will style it somewhat, but it's definitely a headband situation. And another reason, Dan, is I still got hair on my head. I can grow it. Unlike a lot of 57-year-old men, I got a head of hair. So like that was part of it. I go to these concerts and everyone out there is like has big bald spots on the back of their head. I've got a fucked up hairline here, but I got hair on the back of my head and on the top of my head. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to fucking grow it because I can. And that's what's going on. And so, but Dan, to shift the focus on Dan looks very, very thin and svelte with a nice jawline, unlike me. And Dan is also sitting in his new house. For the viewers of the show, you can see that he's not in some fakakta, cramped up trailer with dogs and the wife in the background. He's in like some sort of a big cavernous office space with expensive furniture and hardwood flooring. Do you care to address that?
Yeah, I'm in my office. I'm upstairs. It's my own little haven, and it's nice. We moved into the house 3 weeks ago. It's slow going. We got everything out of storage. It's really incredible having lived in an RV for a year.
What are your thoughts on living on an RV for a year? What lessons and realizations and perhaps, other things have you gone through, have you listened? Empathy for the poor. I mean, what is it like living
when you live in an RV for a year and you live with the bare minimum stuff, once you get to a point where you're done, like I am, and they brought all my stuff from storage and everything. It's like at this point it's like, God, what do I want with all this shit?
Oh, are you having a realization of like where you realize you don't need to live with a lot, and then all of a sudden it's like, what do I need all this shit for?
That's
That
right. That's right. It's just like,
interesting.
yeah, it's and it's weird because like you get all your shit and it's all here now. And and a lot of it I just don't need anymore.
Like
And
what?
oh, tons and tons of shit, man.
Like you've got guitars in the background. Too many guitars? You'll never part
Yeah,
with the
I actually
guitars.
sent a guitar to a friend's kid. I didn't need this many guitars. Um, it's just,
There's
yeah.
just
I
all this
mean,
stuff, right? Because we have all this stuff, and then there's storage spaces with stuff, and you got to pay, and then you got to move this stuff around, and it's like, I don't need all this fucking stuff.
yeah, that's exactly right. And
Right.
you determine very clearly that you just don't need it, you know?
Yeah. You seem preoccupied. What are you clicking around on? I mean,
Nah,
are
I'm
you?
trying to help. So this is my life. I'm the pug rescue group needed help on something. So you know me, I'm a mensch. Um,
Yeah, you are. It's true.
you
So
know,
do I know? Okay, so hold on. So right now we're doing a podcast, but I don't have your full attention because you're a multitasking.
you have most of my attention. You have most of my
Most,
attention.
Dan, you have 100% of my attention right now. I am a professional broadcaster, and when I do this job, I'm looking at you and I'm focused on you 100%.
That's
Now
fair.
it's
That's fair. That's fair.
and I can tell that I don't have your whole attention, maybe like 80%, but something's going on. I'm not getting the full Dan. Now,
No, it's no. You're getting the full Dan. It's just
okay.
this the pug rescue group needs something fixed on
I'm
the
teasing.
website.
If it's for look, I would really bitch if it was like a work related thing. I'd be like, what the fuck? But the pugs, I love the pugs. There's a good chance that my next dog is going to be a pug. A
Love
really good
that.
chance.
Love
But I am
that.
worried about the fact.
There's actually a pretty good rescue group out in Phoenix.
Yeah, but the problem with pug, I mean, it's the cleaning of the folds and the breathing problems that they have because of you know what I mean? The way that they're bred.
There's nothing
There's
you can
nothing
do
you can
about
do
that.
about that. I used to go to this record place, and they had an old pug. The place where I sold my vinyl and made thousands of dollars. The guy had a pug in the record store, and he was getting older, and he would have these breathing attacks, you know, on his little dog bed, like, and he would have to pick up the dog and like rub its belly and stuff because it can't fucking breathe. And I'm like, oh my goodness. I mean, these poor dogs. But
Yeah.
I applaud you for doing the pug rescue group.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've actually had a pug. We had pugs for many, many years, and now I just do tech work and stuff for them. So
Right.
anyway, back to what we were talking about. We moved into the
Yes.
house. Moved into the house 3 weeks ago, discovering I have all this crap I don't need. We made one very bad mistake.
Tell me.
The house faced west, and we completely forgot about like window coverings, like shades or whatever.
So, okay. The house faced, so if a house faced west, as we know, you're in Florida, same thing as in Arizona, you not want a west facing house because then the sun is at noon, then the sun is at 1 p.m., and it starts beating on the front of the house at the hottest part of the day.
Well, it's just the light, really. The house doesn't get hot because it's so well insulated.
Okay.
It's
But it's
brand
a lot
new.
of light coming in?
Yeah, so like by about 6 o'clock, it's just blinding in like the couple of places. So we ordered shades and stuff. They're
Yeah.
coming, but that was one mistake. And
Well, at least it's not getting hot in the house.
so here's another one you're gonna like.
Okay. Hit me.
So we got out of the RV, and I got to get rid of it. I got to sell it, right?
Oh, this is the
And
story getting rid of the I can imagine. Okay, go ahead.
so you got three options, right?
Right.
Option one is you Facebook Marketplace it, and you deal with.
Let me interject. Tell the audience. This is a big fancy fifth wheel RV. Fifth wheel, yeah. Was it a drivable thing?
No.
That means it was a trailer. So it was like a
Yeah.
big trailer that Dan had, and they lived in it for a year, and it was fancy as fuck, had pullouts, the whole deal. And now Dan's got to sell it. And he lived in it for a year, and now he's got to sell it. So go ahead.
Now I
with
gotta
the
sell
story.
it. So 3 options. You could Facebook Marketplace it, sell it privately. That's how you're gonna
Right.
make the most money.
That's
But
true.
you got to deal with every Tom, Dick, and Harry coming to
Oof.
kick the tires and
The
bitch
worst.
about this and that. So option 2 is you get a dealer to literally buy it from you,
Right.
and that's the worst in terms of money. They give you nothing,
Right. But you're
they come,
done.
but you're done.
Yeah.
Option 3 is the dealer,
Mhm.
instead of just paying you, they'll consign it for you, so they will
Oh.
sell it, and that's the midpoint where you're not dealing with the people or the bullshit, but it
But you
takes
get a little more money. Like it's a little half and half of both
yes,
situations.
you'll get more money, and it takes 30 to 45 days is what they say.
Yeah.
So
Which option did you choose?
that one,
The
consignment.
consignment.
So I had it taken over there. Guy guy calls me up. Yeah, so we did the full inspection. Bear in mind this RV is a year old. Like it's
Yeah.
new. And
Yeah.
hasn't gone anywhere. The tires are perfect, and it was undercover, as you remember.
And they started talking about it and poo-pooing it.
A little. He's like, well, did you seal the roof? I'm like, well, no, because it's less than a year old and it was undercover. Well, you might want to consider sealing the
Yeah,
roof.
they're looking for any reason to lower the value for you. That's all they're doing, obviously.
Well, this is me paying them $200 to seal the roof. But I'm like, then I thought to myself, my luck, I let them take it, and within a week it starts raining real bad and it leaks. Because if you have a trailer, a coach, they like to call it a coach. If you have
Yeah,
a coach that leaks, that's
it's the worst thing in the world.
it's
It's
the worst thing
death.
in the world. You
Yeah,
can't have
yeah,
that.
100%. That's the worst thing in the world.
So
You're
I
right.
told him, yeah, go ahead and seal it.
Okay. No,
Even
I'd
though
agree with
people
that.
I know who know trailers have said, um, they've said to me, you're not going to have.
Yeah, but
Gonna
you
have.
don't. But you're right. Like you don't want to risk it for that because if you do, the one chance that water is leaking in there a little bit, it's the worst thing. It immediately lowers the value of anything else. Oh, you're right. I would have done the
So
same thing, and I know a lot about trailers.
so I called them back. I said, yeah, go ahead and seal it. So they're going to call
Right,
me
right.
and we'll get
Okay.
it done. And then yeah, it's just been a comedy of shit like that. And I have the big huge cover that I had put over the trailer that I don't need anymore. And
So
so
what's going on with that? That's going to be my new place when Roe kicks me out. Can I live
no,
under
you have
that?
the monkey house, the 8x8, the monkey hut.
Okay.
No, so I have a buddy who wants it, who wants the cover. He's like, I want it. I go, okay.
But
He
he's got
goes,
to take it apart and fucking.
well, he has a friend who does that, that's what he does. He's got a buddy who is a metal building guy. And he's like, yeah, my
Aren't
buddy's gonna
these
come do it.
posts like concreted into the ground?
No, they're staked in with these massive twirling stakes, but you can disconnect the stakes.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it's like a bracket. You unhook
Yeah,
it.
so you
Okay.
can you can disconnect the stakes. So
Yeah, oh, good. Make a little money from that.
yeah, and then I just the thing that's going on with me, man,
What's going on with
is
Dan?
because of some of the trauma I dealt with the past year,
Yeah.
I have what's called trauma response, which basically means random times I start worrying about dumb shit that there's no reason to worry about.
Right.
And I
You're making a
assume
mountain out of a molehill on a
and
lot of
I
things.
assume worst case scenario on everything,
Oh
you know.
yeah.
So, because we're entering hurricane season now, and I'm sort of living on the edge, hoping to God we don't get a season like last year.
Now you're focused on that hurricane season. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, last year was crazy, man. It was
Oh yeah.
crazy. It was crazy. So, granted, no two hurricane seasons are the same.
Mm,
So it would be unlikely to get another season exactly like last year. But,
yeah.
it's just, you're just trying to get through the summer. You're trying to gut through, trying to just white knuckle it, get through the summer,
Well, now you're in a nice house that's built sturdy, so it's not like you're in this house and
Oh,
if a
yeah, yeah.
fucking
No, I have
storm,
no worries about the house. It would be losing power for a week.
Well, losing power for a week. I mean, there's things you can do. It's not the worst. I mean, Yeah, I mean, at least you're in a shelter, so it gets a little hot. You could light some candles, fucking eat some canned food.
Nah, if we
Eat
lost,
some.
we have a generator, a standby
Oh, look at
whole
you.
house generator. If that, and we could probably make it about a week without power.
That's
Last year,
good.
as bad as it was, we only lost power for a grand sum of about a day and a half last year.
Yeah, and you got to figure like if you lose power for a week, that means any grand big population loses power. They're not going to let that happen. That's a really long. That's these power crews, like you said when you told me that story before. They're on that shit. They're going to take care
Yeah,
of it.
yeah. I mean, if last year was bad and we can withstand that kind of power loss,
Yeah.
it's
No, you
just the
just worry.
stress.
You just got that. You just got that trauma response. Constantly worried about shit, and I get it.
That's right. Worried about shit I shouldn't be worrying about.
I mean, yeah, And
Shit I can't.
I was Dan's life coach, talking
You
to
were.
Dan. Yeah, the more
Sponsor.
I thought about, I give Dan like bad advice and stuff, and it's like, fuck, but then I started like, Bruce, you're not Dan, so maybe Dan does things that Dan wants to do. Like I'm like, well, I don't know
Yeah.
the fucking
Yeah.
answers.
No, but you were my sponsor when I was going through a rough time, and I appreciate it.
Thank you, Dan. Hey, you know what I want to talk about? You're gonna like this story. I'm gonna get back to the entertain that. So, okay, you mind if I tell a story?
Go ahead.
So, as you know, I've been playing a lot more drums lately, just because It's fun to play drums in these Grateful Dead cover bands because I know the songs and you don't. It's not very rigid. You can just. There's a lot of room to jam and to just do it your way. It's not a lot of control. It's a lot like an abstract painting. You just do what you want, to some extent. Well, I play in like two bands like this and stuff. And so then I'm starting to get known in the circuit. Like, hey, this guy, Bruce, he's got no job. He's got a fucking car. He's got a drum set. You call him, he's there. So there's this guy. And I really hope my bandmates don't hear this podcast, but fuck it. I'm going to talk about it anyway. The story was too good to know. As it was happening, I was thinking about Dan. So there's this band, and they do like boomer cover songs, straight up. And
Everybody's working for the
worse than
weekend.
that, way worse than that. It's like let
Taking
the
care
old
of
time
food.
rock and roll. Don't
Oh
try to take
no,
me to a disc. Okay,
no.
so there. I'm not even going to say the name of the band, but there's
Bob
this
Seger. They're
project.
covering Bob Seger.
Horrible, dude. Hotel California, bro.
Oh no.
Hotel. Yeah. So
and that's it. Look, I'm not necessarily a fan of that, but that is a tough song to play well.
Here's the deal. You're going to like this story. So I'm playing in these Grateful Dead cover bands and I'm doing a good job at it. I am. I'm actually doing a really good job at it. And people are starting to notice in the community, like, oh, wow, Bruce is playing two or three of these Grateful Dead cover bands I'm doing. And as such, this guy says, look, my project that does basically note for note renditions of these boomer songs has a gig in this place in Scottsdale. Now, you know how I feel about Scottsdale.
I know how you feel about Scottsdale and
I'm like,
songs.
okay. Yeah, so it's Scottsdale. Here's the red flags. It's Scottsdale, the term note for note boomer songs.
Ooh.
This is you got to play it
it's got to sound like the record.
It's got to sound like the record. Yeah. You got to play it like it is on the record.
Taking care of business,
bro.
Bad company.
Not it's gonna go. Yeah. So I'm like, okay. And I didn't want to do this because it just started rubbing
boomer songs.
Bro,
wait a minute.
I didn't want to do this because it's rubbing me the wrong way. And then the guy he hits me with it's $400 for 90 minutes.
Oh.
I'm like, bro.
Now he has your attention.
Now he's got my attention. 400 cash. Handed to you, tax free. Here you go.
How many Steve Miller songs can you learn in 1 week?
And I'm like, all right, I can do that. And they gave me the list of the songs, and I had it in my head.
I can't get no satisfaction.
Bro, it was it was Carly Simon. You're so vain.
Oh no.
That you think. But
that's an easy one for you.
Well, yeah. Actually, quite frankly, They were all easy because I know them like the back of my hand because they were
Walked into the party like you were walking
walking into.
onto a
Yes.
yacht.
And
Any Fleetwood
Cats and
Mac?
here, dude,
Fleetwood
get
Mac. There has to be
ready.
Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah, there was Fleetwood Mac. There was Dreams, right? How does that one
Oh
go?
yeah. It only happens when it's
Yeah, Thunder only
raining.
happens when it's raining.
Players only love you when they're
And there's the
playing.
ultimate anthem, Hotel California.
Oh.
The
But in
Eagles.
that, yeah, but the thing is, if you want to be legit, you would have to sing because in the Eagles, the drummer was the singer.
So, but here's the thing. So this band, it's this song and a bunch of other really bad songs. It's like and the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon, a little boy blue, right? That one. Anyway, it's a whole bunch of these Tom Petty, fucking.
Hey, whoa. You were not going to shit on Tom Petty in front of me.
That's fine.
You know he's from here, right?
I know it's fine.
Right.
He was one of the better songs, but there were some other really really bad ones. But whatever. There were some good ones, some bad ones, whatever. But they're all very boomer. And
dude, you play in a Grateful Dead cover band. That's like
I know that's
boomer.
extremely boomer.
Yeah.
But there are a bunch of young hot chicks that show up that you would really, Dan.
So that I'm amazed that the hot chicks would want to see a Grateful Dead cover band.
No, it's strong. There are a bunch of ASU chicks who come down. Now, granted, look, that's a whole different story. But anyway, let me get back to this. So, okay, it's in Scottsdale. It's 90 minutes for $400, which is way like, no, I play these Grateful Dead cover bands. You're talking, you got to do 3 hours, 3.5 hours, and you're lucky if you get, 200, 250. So it's way better. So anyway, they gave me the list of songs. I know all the songs like the back of my hand because I heard them on Casey Kasem growing up. These are the songs that were on AM radio that me and you were growing up. I know these fucking songs.
Sure.
But here's the thing. I think that I know them.
Oh.
I think that I know them.
Yeah.
And I have confidence. And then we get together and we have a practice. Okay, let's get to practice. And I meet all these people in the band. And the singer of the band is let me just choose my words carefully. The singer of the band is a very strong-willed 35-year-old woman.
I knew the singer would be a woman. That's absolutely.
Because there's a lot of Carly Simon. There's a lot of Fleetwood Mac.
Fleetwood Mac.
It's a lot of this. And like, okay.
And honestly, at this age, women's voices stay good longer than men's do.
But she's young. She's like 35.
Oh, yeah, 35.
And she looks good too. She wears like tight pants and stuff. And I'm like, I see what's going on. The boomers like this. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
yeah, absolutely.
I get what's going on.
Look at that one.
Yeah, I know. She's a real piece of work, right? And anyway, so the gig. Okay, so we have 1 or 2 band practices and more red flags at the band practices because I'm playing back there. And I get a lot of, I'm back there like this, and I get a lot of, okay, cut. So that drum solo goes, but a bump, 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 not.
Oh no!
No. You know how well I don't take people telling me what to do artistically, right? And I'm like, but then
this is the opposite of art.
Yeah,
You're literally playing.
It's
someone
note for
else's
note
material word
and
for word.
And I'm thinking, but then it's terrible because I'm thinking about the $400. You need that $400, right? The other part of me is thinking, it's still playing drums. Maybe it's fine. It's not. So then, okay. So I get through the band practice and I also start playing another song. Yeah, it's a little fast. You want to make sure that one's like a bit of a slow. So make sure to follow.
Is there a particular person in the band who tends to be the most critical?
I mean, yeah, but everyone's like, there's me and a couple hired hands. Like there's a bass player who's not so what happened is this is a normal project. And several of their band members can't play for whatever reason. So they had to hire me and a bass player and I think a keyboard player that were just brand new, like me. They were just hired hands. And we all met that night to play these songs. And these guys
This is not going to end well. I already know.
I had it already. I got the story. It happened. It didn't end well. So, but here's the creme de la creme. I'm sorry. Tell me if the story is too long and I'll shorten it.
No, I can already see how this is going to play out.
Okay. Go ahead. So, but there's another. Okay. So then we have the 2 band practices, and it's coming along pretty good. And I'm actually getting complimented, even though I did get like, hey, do this, do that. I had done my homework, and they're like, "Wow, you know the songs." All in all, I'm like, "Hey, man, you're pretty good. I really like this. You're doing good, Bruce." And I need that affirmation. Okay, good, good. And so like, good, gigs coming up, whatever. And by the way, here's the clincher. By the way, you have to wear it's a Woodstock theme, and you need to wear a Woodstock appropriate costume.
Oh
I'm
no.
like, okay, that's where the headband comes in. And I'm like, are we talking wigs? And like, many of the men wear long-haired wigs.
No, man, you should go nude. That's what they did at Woodstock.
But they don't want to hear that. They're like, many of the men in the band, you wear a long-haired wig and a bandana and like a big peace emblem and like a shirt with paisley on it. And you can't. And I'm like, I can dress. I'm a cosplayer. I'll dress like you said. I can dress Woodstock appropriate, but I'm going to be dirty. I'm going to rub dirt on me. They're like, no, we're playing. I literally said, I will rub dirt on me and I'll go shirtless. And they're like, no, no, no. You're not going to go shirtless and rub dirt on you. This is a nice club in Scottsdale. Dan, guess how much it costs to get in?
You mean the cover charge?
Yeah, to see this Fakakta band. And they had also like a little burlesque kind of act.
I'm gonna say $18.
$50.
That's insane.
It's insane because I'm not paying $50 to go see Tom Petty himself if he came around. You know.
Okay, all right. You did it again.
Whatever. All right,
We
different example.
discussed this.
Say it was like Bob Seger comes around. Whatever.
Okay, fine. Bob Seger.
I'm not paying $50. So it's $50 at this really swanky place, and they've got burlesque dancers and drink specials and all this. And I'm like, holy shit, $50? Who's paying? Who's going to come in to see this Fakakta? And by the way, but I got to give the band credit. They sounded good. They're doing the chick vocals, very good. The other vocals, they're doing 4-part harmonies that are big in these 70s songs. They're nailing them, bro. They're nailing them. And I've never been in a band that had been nailing the vocal harmonies.
That's
so I'm
good.
like, okay. Yeah, it's hard. You're so vain with the backup vocals, and I don't sing. And I'm already
you got any Bee Gees in there?
No, we didn't do the Bee Gees. We did some Carole King. We did some Lido. Whoa, Lido.
Oh, Boz Scaggs.
Scaggs, bro. We're hitting all these songs.
Dude. Boz Scaggs, the drummer for him and a lot of his good stuff was Jeff Porcaro, who was in Toto, who was one of the all-time greats.
Yes. So we're playing Boz Scaggs, and we're playing some like AM Gold kind of songs. You know what I mean? But the theme of the night was a Woodstock night. It was on a Friday night, and you got to wear a costume. And I'm like, oh fuck me, right?
So Bruce shows up with his headband.
So here's what I wear. I'll send you pictures later. I wear a headband. I find some like yellow glasses. I find like a weird necklace. And I found like an African shirt. It's kind of African, but it like looks, hippie-ish, right? And my outfit looked good. And the other guys wore like shirts with paisleys on them and just big fake piece things and a couple of more wigs, because everyone's bald, so you got to wear a wig, And I show up at the venue, and it's like, holy shit, I've never played a venue like this in my life. We roll in there. And the stage is an old boxing ring. So clearly they have like fights and boxing in there. The place is enormous. Boxing ring in the middle, 2 stages on the side. And the place is enormous and it's all decked out. And, we playing in the boxing ring. They remove the ropes. I set up. And, the whole thing went pretty well. But I had like sort of a cringy, vibe about the whole thing. Like
you felt a little dirty. Yeah,
dude, I did it definitely I didn't post about it on my Facebook because none of my friends are going to think this is cool at all. No. I don't think it's cool. I need money. So, but would I do it again? Probably not. I don't know. But it was I didn't like being able to play the songs note for note. And I will say this to wrap up the story. There's one part during the concert where I'm playing and the bossy singer chick turns back to me because it's taking a little too long in between each songs because guys got to fucking adjust their strings and stuff like that. It wasn't me.
Yeah.
Guys got to adjust their strings and stuff like this. And she wanted a quick bam, bam, bam turn over. And it wasn't. and she just came out and a little bit of fire came out. She's like, okay, come on, let's go. Let's snap it up, guys. Let's snap it, like angry, like snap it up. Let's go. Let's move it. Let's move it. Let's move it. Like to
She's
all
clapping. She's clapping you along.
she's clapping us along at it, but like, you know, like she's all friendly to the crowd. Hey, how's it going on? Okay, guys, let's move it along. Let's move it along. What are you doing? Let's go. Next song. Let's go. Chop chop. And I was like, I don't like this, man.
Well, yeah,
I don't
you know,
like
look,
this.
music is supposed to be art. It's supposed to be,
Bro.
I mean,
I
look,
hold it sacred.
as much as I'm not a Grateful Dead fan, I can appreciate and respect the fact that their music is sort of tailored in such a way that you're not going to get a cover
Right.
band that's note for note.
Thank you.
That defeats the whole purpose of that whole genre.
100%. So that's what was going on. Like, that's why I'm drawn to these Grateful Dead cover bands, because as long as you know the general vein of the song, look, the chorus might wind up going out for a little while. You might, that ending part, that might go on for 15 minutes. You don't know. And it's a lot like an abstract painting. You're just going to find out about it when it happens. There's no fucking planning it out. You just get a bunch of competent musicians, get them on the stage, and see what happens.
Yeah.
And, so, and I hold it sacred, a lot like my art. So when I was doing this thing for $400, playing note for note Lido Shuffle in You're So Vain.
Well, I do like Boz Scaggs. But
look, I genuinely liked all the songs except for I don't like old time rock and roll.
Oh,
that's a boomer anthem. That's a boomer anthem that I fucking hate, and I feel bad and dirty playing it because the guys up there talking about, don't try to do. I like this old time. It's like, fuck you, man. And like I was looking at it like the crowd too, and it's all these boomers there with their old wives, and I'm like, man, this is gross, you know, like. But I took that money and ran, dude, and I got a lot of compliments. You know,
take the money and run.
Yeah, I took the money, and then people were like, oh, that's great. You know what I mean? You did great, and I have to say, I wrote out there like, hey, man, call me if you need me again. And then the more I thought about it, I'm like, man, I don't know. So
no,
anyway,
that's
that story.
That's rough. I mean, you know,
that's that story.
That's funny. You never told me that. That's amazing. Picturing you there, back there. She walked in to the party,
bro. Like
Lido Shuffle though. That's a challenging song on the drums a little bit. The beginning
part. Oh. Hotel California, got to tell you, harder than it seems.
Really?
Harder than it seems. Oh, yeah, it's got a reggae feel. A lot of white guys can't play it. I can play it. At the end, it sort of goes nuts. And I did my homework. I take shit seriously. I'm like, I did a lot of practicing on this drum set back here, like getting ready for this because I don't want to fuck up. You know what I mean?
So I don't mean to clap you along.
Go ahead.
You alluded in a text message to Roe being on the warpath. I need to know what's going on with that.
I don't want to get in trouble too much, but
is she gonna watch this and make it 37 minutes, 35 minutes in?
No, I'll say this. She's not going to be outside the door either. But so we both had some dental work done, right? We both like went and she said she found this dentist, and of course, when you go to the dentist, I don't think either of us been to the dentist since after the COVID scare or whatever, because we weren't really in the mood to go to the fucking dentist during COVID. And that's been going on for a while. So she's like, well, we take care of our teeth, whatever. We're not a bunch of rednecks over here, even though what you might think. Anyway, so she goes and finds this dentist. And I'm like, I was looking for a new dentist that's not, you're going to make fun of me. I didn't want an old Republican white male to be my dentist.
Why?
I didn't.
Okay. Bruce.
You can't tell.
Bruce.
Let me rephrase
Who gives a shit?
I do. Let me say this. Let me rephrase that. Don't get into politics. Let me rephrase that.
I'm not, but I don't care. Like,
let me rephrase. Don't go down that road.
Here's
what I'll say.
Is the dentist good?
I didn't want a male dentist. I wanted a woman dentist. That's how I want to rephrase it.
That's fine. I can deal with that.
Yeah,
but I don't understand why you care.
No. I didn't. I misspoke. Let's reset.
I want my dentist to be good at dentistry.
Reset.
I want a
So
good
I just
dentist.
I didn't want a male dentist. My last dentist was male, and he was awful swarmy about it.
You
Like,
didn't
you
want
know
a
what I mean?
dude. You don't want a guy reaching in your mouth.
Yeah, and
I get
he
it.
was like young and handsome, and he had a Corvette parked out up front. It was worth tons of money, and I didn't like the whole vibe. And so that was my last dentist. I was like, no, no, no.
Bruce,
So
I worry about you a bit. I do.
I should be worried about. So anyway, she found a dentist that was great because it's a woman, dude. She found a dentist that was a woman, and everyone that works there is a woman. There are no men. There are no men
And
there at
dental
all.
hygienists tend to be very cute.
They do.
Okay.
And but I just didn't want a male. I'm done with it. I'm done with it. So she found one. She's like really like it, and she goes, "Oh, this dentist, this one," and she's an older woman too. I'm like, "This is great. She really cares, you know." And I'm like, "Okay." And so then she saw them, and they came up with a plan of the dental work that she needs, and then they came up with a plan of what I need.
Uh-oh.
And so she needs, a couple $1,000, and I need a couple $1,000, whatever. But part of the thing that she needs is this thing called Invisalign, right?
Oh no.
It's kind of like braces,
Right.
but like you got to wear these little
Your
things.
use of the word needs is odd to me because no one needs Invisalign.
Well, they were. I don't want to get it. Look, this is her. I don't want to be talking about her too much, but she does. It affects her bite and like the way that her mouth is moving around and shifting, and she can't. Her alignment is wrong. It bothers her. It's more than just. Put it this way. It's more than just aesthetic. And I'm like, all right. So, but what she didn't figure out is that you gotta wear these things. That when it was said and done, you have to wear these things for 22 hours a day. You can only remove them for 2 hours a day to eat. And Ro likes to snack during the day.
She's a snacker.
Yeah, and likes to watch movies and snack, grapes and sunflower seeds and whatever, and take her time. And it wasn't until this whole thing is done and the plan is made and whatever, till she gets home, she's like, I can only eat 2 hours a day and remove this like for 2 hours a day. And by the way, you got to remove it and pick it off. Every time you take it off and put it on, it's heavy flossing and all this stuff. So it's like the daytime snacking is really, and I'm like, didn't you ask about that? Like before all this, So needless to say, Dan, she's a little bit crabby these days. And I don't blame her because it's just like, it's a pain in the ass to be removing this and just, if snacking is your thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, if you're a
So
snacker, that's a drag.
yeah, so needless to say, I might be catching a little bit of shrapnel from that whole thing.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
not.
surprised she went for that. I don't know,
Well, if it was
man.
me, dude, if it was me, what I would have asked, I would have thought about this and been like, how long do I have to wear this a
Yeah, so how does
day?
this work exactly? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I need to know because I'm very detailed and obsessive on like what is going to happen with this. And so then they hit me up and I've got like this hole, like this tooth missing on the bottom that you can't see. And then they checked me out and like, oh, you need cavity on the other side of that. Might as well fix that. Get a bridge, blah, blah, blah. It's gold. You got to get $5,000.
I got one missing too. Check it out.
Yeah. So
They're like, yeah, so we can put a post in and drill a thing into your head and then put a fake tooth on top of it. I'm like, why?
you
Like,
could just live without the tooth. Who
yeah,
cares?
doesn't affect me.
And so, I've got this temporary thing in my mouth right now, so I can't eat anything hard or crunchy. So I'm losing weight. She's losing weight because, but yeah, like she's a little bummed out. I'd be too. Like for 2 years, I got to wear this thing for 2 years. The Invisalign is for 2 years, and she's like, "Man,
Fuck
I
that.
don't.
She's not gonna make it 2 years.
There's no way.
The problem is she's spending all this money on it. So
No, she will make it 2 years. She'll make it. It's not going to be a pleasant 2 years.
no.
It's not going to be pleasant.
Mm-mm.
So that's why, Dan. That's
All
why.
right. I was hoping for something better, but that's fine.
No, it's nothing juicy. It's nothing that I did. You know what I mean? Look, I'm no picnic. That's for sure.
Yeah, so with me, I'm just sort of adjusting to the new world of having a house and
How's the
um
job? So the job is you work from home.
Work from home. The company is in California, so that's good and bad. It's good in the sense that when I wake up in the morning, I have my entire morning and no one's around up there. Because here it's, it's 8
Yeah,
a.m.
you wake
here.
up early and you want to hit the ground running, but you can't because no one's awake out there yet.
No. I can work. I just can't meet with anybody. That's all. But they have a lot of meetings. So I mean, I have to, and their meetings are in the morning their time. So they occur around lunchtime, my time.
So this job, there's a lot of meetings. You're
Yeah,
online.
it's disrupted my sandwich schedule,
The
which
sandwich schedule, God forbid.
yeah,
So, what is going on with the bagel situation?
there is none. I mean, I don't think food service is the right calling for me.
No, I'm not only just that, but like you going, there's a bagel place you can go to, right?
Yes. Oh yeah. In fact, there's a guy that I know who bought it and he owns it now. And
You know the
I
guy, you know
I
the new
do.
owner.
I do. I floated the idea of putting a location up here because there's so little in the way of that kind of stuff
How
up
far
this
away
way.
is this bagel place from you?
Probably 9 miles, something like that.
And you think that's a long way to drive, and you got to have another one closer to you?
I didn't say that. I just think one up here would do well.
You do.
Yeah.
Wow, 9 miles away. Are there
So
a lot of old people of the tribe that would like love to go and
no, but there's not where I live. It's off a highway exit, and the most of what we have to eat here is fast food because they're trying to get the
oh
people off
yeah.
the highway, and it's a blue collar area, working class, farming community. So, but we're not far from stuff. Like I told you, 9 miles away, there's anything you want.
Yeah.
Um, but like after this podcast, Kara and I are gonna run into town and get some lunch. But yeah, the job is good. Everyone's super nice. Um, it's just that
How's the stress level on the job though? Like, is it a pain in the ass? I mean, of course, it's a job. There's got to be some things about the job you're not too much of a fan of. You got to make money
well,
though.
the only
So,
real stress is that the meetings are in such a way that it's sort of the middle of the day. For them, it's the morning, but for
I mean,
me,
that's
it's
not the
like
worst thing in the world, Dan. I mean, if it's just like your schedule and you like your schedule a certain way, then you create a new
yeah,
schedule
I'll
for
adjust.
yourself.
Yeah, I'll adjust. It's totally
Yeah,
fine. Yeah.
that's totally. I mean, if out of all the stressors, let me ask you this: are there people that you? Does anyone really annoy you? Like the
No.
last job?
So far there is not. There's a guy who's kind of quiet, but
I'll
that's
take
it.
quiet rather than fucking pushy and abrasive.
No, there's no pushing and abrasive. Everyone's super nice so far. Um,
That's nice.
it's a lot of information. I have a long way to go in terms of learning the ins and outs of the system, but so far so
Very
good.
good.
No complaints for me. Um,
How the pigs?
pigs are fine. Um, I find myself. So
There we
we've
go.
lived here for a year, and last year I took care of the whole 10 acres. That's what I
Yeah.
did. It was fine.
You find yourself. This is going to get interesting. What are we
But
we're
for
going to
some
say?
reason now, due to my sort of slightly changed mindset,
Yeah.
I find myself sort of overwhelmed by the amount of crap that goes along with taking care of this property. So,
Huh. Like the tasks or the items themselves or both?
yeah, like I just want help, you know? So I found
So
a
when it's 10
guy.
acres, it's yeah, you're right. It's always something. It's like, oh, there's this fucking hole over there. Oh, it did the grass, or you got to move this, or right? That's a lot. Like
I
land is
found a
not just gonna.
guy
You found a guy.
I found a guy who agreed to cut the front of the property, like the front half,
So it looks nice from the road.
so it looks nice from the road. And then this
Good.
morning, prior to this podcast, I cut the back. I mean, the thing is, see, here's the thing: to cut the back, the entire back of the property, the pig area and the area behind the
Yeah.
house, it's an hour. That's all it is. I have a very, very nice mower. It's a badass mower,
And
and it,
you enjoy it from what I understand.
I do like mowing. I put on my
Yeah.
headset. I listen to whatever podcasts, music,
Right.
Um, and
Tom Petty, and drive around.
I'm,
Oh, little like a refugee. Fucking no, but so what's the difference with the front then? Is it a hassle to cut the?
it's just way more land. It's just a lot, and so this gives me less
Oh,
to do. It gives me
less
less
to
on my
do.
plate. And if I let it go too long, I know, well, I just got an hour of work ahead of me. It's
So,
not
but
a big deal.
overwhelming, like, so, okay, I got to cut the grass. I got to do this. And by the way, now I got all this stuff. And where am I going to put this stuff? And that it was probably just the land itself to take care of a lot. That's 10 acres is a fucking lot. And you got to deal with that. And then the pigs. And all of a sudden, oh, yeah, here comes all my storage space full of shit that I put in my new house. And then that adds on to that. Like, oh, no, stuff.
Yeah, it's been something. I mean, you know, the way it works here is that you just fight your way through the summer, but once you get to like October, November, the growing season's over. And at that point you don't have to do much because nothing's growing in like, you know, December.
Yeah.
But,
Well, you
you know,
got no trees on the property, right?
no trees.
Are you going to put trees on the property?
We've planted a couple. We made a mistake. One, we did a live oak, which is good, it's doing quite well, and then we
Yeah.
fucking did a maple, which was stupid because it's going to die.
Yeah, guys, no maple trees are around in Florida, and that's why.
No, there are Florida maples. They exist, but it was a bad choice for the where we're putting it. We should have just stuck with live oaks, honestly,
Yeah.
or
Okay.
pines. But yeah, I'm just honestly, man, it's just day to day. I got the good days, I got the bad days. I'm trying to gut through and inch my way back to what would be normal, you know, after the year in the RV and all
Well, quite
that.
frankly, I mean, you got the job, which I know for me, I would not want it, but that's because we're different people. But like, you have a job, and that's definitely I can
You
see
know
it's
what though,
helping you.
Bruce? You know
What's
what?
that?
One positive of your mindset and
Oh God.
being my sponsor on this
Oh Lord, here comes. What's
is
that?
I no longer fear not having a job.
Oh, that's good.
So I like this gig. I hope I get to keep it. But
If
so
not,
if not, I'm not gonna die.
that's good because the old Dan was petrified of not having a job. Just
Yeah,
petrified.
yeah, a little bit. But yeah, it
That's
is what it
good.
is. Yeah. I think my mindset is generally better
Good.
on that. And
I'm glad to hear.
it's really making sure I hit the meetings. That's the thing. But the good news is they're West Coast, so if I get up at 8 a.m., I do all my stuff. You know,
Yeah.
I'm in the house and done with the morning shit by 9. I get at least 2 hours where I have gotten it's quiet and I got
How many
nothing.
hours a day do you physically are working?
Well, I
Like,
haven't had much I can do because I haven't had access to the systems yet. I'm still waiting
yeah.
for that. But there are a couple things I have been able to do. So, I mean, I don't believe in hours. Like I'm going to work as much as I need to work to accomplish what I need to
Yeah,
accomplish.
I was going to bring that up because working from home is different, right? Like you're
I don't
giving this,
believe I don't believe in hours. I want to be productive. I want to
right.
deliver on the stuff that they want. But
And however long that takes me is how long, but that's my daily
however long
goal.
that is,
Right.
if I'm sitting on the computer at 8 o'clock at night working on it, that's fine. But if it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon and I feel like taking a nap and I don't have a meeting that day, I'll do that too.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
So
Yeah. That's good, buddy.
yeah, I'm just trying my best to sort of, you know, sort of get my
Well, you look
bearings.
good. You sound good.
I do look good. I do look
You
good. And
look good.
David Lee Roth said the most important thing is how you look.
And Billy Crystal once said, "It is better to look good than to feel good, my darling." And I forget the
Yeah.
name of the character there, but
I do look good. I've lost a bunch of weight. I've kept it off.
mm,
I'm happy with my appearance, although I got to get some new clothes. And speaking of clothes, Bruce,
uh-oh.
the volume of concert T-shirts that I have, especially Iron Maiden, it's insane. And
Well, Dan, what'd you
I
do with them?
finally,
Please
I
tell me you did
finally
not
reached.
just donate them.
No, no. I finally reached a point where this is insane. I'm never gonna wear all these. I don't need all these shirts. So I have a friend who's a seamstress quilter. I'm gonna have her make a t-shirt quilt.
Before you do that, have you realized how valuable these shirts are?
Yeah, if they were from the 80s, these are not new. These are not old shirts. These are from the past decade.
Okay, they're okay. I was gonna say,
No.
yeah.
I mean, I would happily give them away if there was someone who wanted an Iron Maiden t-shirt, but
No, make the quilt. I like that idea. That because you know what? Here's the thing with getting rid of stuff. There's the whole Marie Kondo thing and simplifying and does it bring me joy and all these things about, cluttering and living minimalism. You have to really like look at stuff and just like spend, okay, am I ready to let this go? Does it bring me joy? Have I worn this? One thing with clothes is if you haven't worn an item of clothes in a year,
I
then
know,
why are you
but for me, that's most of my clothes. That's what I'm
Yeah,
wearing right now. This I haven't worn in a year. Like
yeah.
this, I found this in unpacking. So that's one of the reasons I'm sort of off kilter right now is like I went from normal to like a new normal, you
Right.
know, much more
Well, I'd
minimal.
say give yourself a break though, bro, because like I mean, aside from the trauma of whatever, just like moving is a fucking big deal. Like
Yeah.
moving from like that's always a fucking big deal. So now you got boxes. Where's my this? I can't find my hair clippers. Where's my fucking like? And then you're like, where am I gonna put this? What you're saying? I got all this stuff. I don't need all this stuff. Get rid of it. It does feel fucking good to get rid of stuff. I'll say that. But I
Yeah.
don't,
I wish
I
it was
mean,
easier to do though, because the problem is like I don't want random, schmoes, traipsing around my house. So like I
you know
just
what I do? I mean, this is terrible, but like Bro and I will do this sometimes. We'll just get a bunch of stuff and just put it in the car and go to the Goodwill and drop it off Goodwill. I'm not a fan of Goodwill. It's not a good thing. It's got a CEO who's making tons of money. So they don't, it's not like it goes to the poor. It really doesn't.
no.
But you know what? I like the ease of it because you could just go behind the Goodwill and they even say like, don't drop off when we're not open. That's bullshit. I go like a half an hour before they open and out goes boxes and I just let them fucking deal with it. If a bum wants to root through it first, fine. I don't give a fuck. I'm getting rid of it and then it feels good.
Yeah.
It's out the house. It's like taking a big dump and out it goes and you feel like,
Well, what we have here is so we this the local trash dump where I take all my trash, which is like
yeah.
a mile. It's a mile away. I didn't sign up for trash service here because the dump's right here.
Oh,
So
save a few shekels doing
save a
that.
few shekels, and then
Very good.
they have
Big day.
they have a little hut there where you can put donations where anything you're getting rid of that's gently used
Right, something
can
that someone else could use.
yeah.
Keep it
I
out of the
had
landfill.
I had like a George Foreman grill and I had all kinds of like muffin tins and
Oh,
crap
I
like
would
that.
love that. So you put
Yeah.
stuff in there?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Let me ask you this, because this would be my move. I'm thinking already. My mind's going a million miles. It's a hut. Is it unmanned and unsupervised?
Unmanned and unsupervised.
Oh my God, bro! I'm coming home with stuff.
Well,
I'm
yeah, that's
going to
what it's
the dump.
for.
Yeah, but like I might drive up there with nothing and just go take stuff and bring it back. Can you do that? You
Yeah.
got to pay to get in. You got to pay to
No.
get in.
No. No.
Bro, I'm driving up there just looking for. Wow. That's
Yeah.
good. No, because someone else could use it. You know what I
Yeah, oh
mean?
yeah,
I like
sure.
that.
Right. Right.
I like that. Bro, I got a big fucking art show coming up. It's a dual art show. And it's this enormous gallery. It's kind of a DIY punk rock gallery, but it's a gallery nonetheless. And it's a big room and I'm going to have it with this one other dude who I didn't even meet yet. I did meet him recently. They're like, "Hey, the lady that's running the gallery is like, I'm going to have a dual show, you and this guy Marco." So I meet Marco and I like Marco immediately because he's like this big, tall Mexican guy who doesn't like talk a lot. But his artwork looks a little similar to mine. He's like into the old spirits and stuff like this. And so we had a little one quick story. So we're having a meeting there with the woman there you go. That piece will be up there too.
That was the first thing that I hung.
Dan's a collector. Thank you, Dan. So this gallery is huge, and I have a ton of artwork to hang on the wall. And this guy's got a sculptor, so he's got like 3D stuff. This place is enormous. And so she sits down. You're gonna like this little quick story. So she, this guy's serious too. I can look at his work. He's not like a new guy. He's serious. I'm serious when it comes to this. And I could tell this guy's not into nonsense, right? So we sit down there, and you know how like Howard Stern's father is not into nonsense. Like this is the vibe.
Right.
He's giving off
Yes.
a Ben Stern, a Mexican Ben Stern kind of vibe, right? And the guy's my age, right? And so we sit there, and the woman says stuff like, "Hey, so I was thinking for my gallery show, like I could have you two be the main two guys, but I've got a couple also another Den. I've got some young up and coming artists that we can
Oh no.
share this."
Oh,
And
no.
I shoot the guy a look, and I could tell this guy's not liking the idea, right? And then, by the way, so the woman is an art teacher, and the up and coming artists she's talking about are her 17-year-old art students. And she busts out her phone and she's like, "Hey, check it out. So this kid's work is really good. This young man's work is really good, and it is fine, but it's clearly student work, you know." And she's like, "Tell me what you think about this." And so instantly, like, I tell this guy's soft spoken, but I'm going to say something, and I say something like, "I'm not really feeling sharing the studio space with some young people." Oh, really?
Well, these are kids.
Well,
Kids.
she's horrified to
Yeah.
hear me say this, like the look on her face, because it's not a regular gallery. It's kind of like a
Right.
community project, and how dare I poo-poo upon community involvement? And I'm like, well, we'll think on it a little bit. And we went on to the next order of business. And then she talked about some other shit. And now she went. She's like, "I'll be back in about an hour. I got to do something." There's a bar right next door called the Yucca Tap Room, like literally right next door. And Marco goes, I need a beer." And I go, "Yeah, I need a seltzer. I'm going to go with Marco. We're going to go talk shit." "Oh, yeah, you two boys have fun talking about stuff. And I'll be back," right? But she's very bubbly. And Marco is very gruff, right? So like we go to the bar, whatever, and it's a dive bar, and he's got a Pabst Blue Ribbon, and I get myself a nice tonic with lime. I like a nice non-alcoholic tonic with lime. I love it. So we're sitting there, and now the real talk happens. It's like, "Hey, man, so what do you think about all this?" And he's like, "Honestly, I'm not too thrilled about sharing an art space with some, 17-year-olds." And I go, "Honestly, me neither." And he goes, "I don't want to do that." He goes, I just want to have me and you." And there were some other ideas too that she floated that we didn't really too crazy about. Like they wanted to have a band in there. I'm like, "No fucking band. I don't want a band. It's going to be too loud in there." You know? Are you with me? Are you paying attention to the
I
story?
am.
Or is
I
it
am.
that
I'm just
boring?
moving. I'm
All
moving
right.
my keyboard
All
around. I'm
right.
listening.
Giving
Yeah,
it
this
to you.
woman. This woman sounds
So,
annoying.
so okay. Not really, but I mean, look, I'm super grateful. And she'll never hear it, but I'm like, all right, I don't want a live band because it's too loud. It's like the sound booms in the gallery a little too much. I'm like, no, no, no. She's like, "We can get a DJ." I'm like, "No, get a sound system, and I will curate." That's the word I used. "I will curate a set list, and I will play the set list, and I'll work with Marco here. And this is what I do. And so I will curate a set list that won't be obtrusive, and won't be overwhelming. It will complement the work in the gallery." And Marco was like, "Oh." Marco works in a fucking gallery, by the way. So he's like serious, right? He works in like a museum gallery. And so we're having this beer, and he's having the beer, I'm having my tonic, and we're talking about shit. And we start like realigning our vision, not what this woman wants, but what we want, because we are the artists, and this is what we want. So anyway, then she comes into the bar like, "Hey, what you boys talking about?" And I'm like, "I need to take a leak." And I take a leak, and I did this on purpose because I want Marco to
Speak up.
yeah. It's kind of one of my human experiments that I do, as I told you about my human experiments. I'm like, I want to see what happens. So I went to take a leak, and I come back, and the women are gone. And Marco says, "By the way, I told him in no uncertain terms, we don't want anyone else. It's me and you, and no band and no nonsense." And I'm like, "Oh, good." And they also had this idea that they floated where they wanted to have like the artwork is going to be up there for like a month, and I'm going to man it. It's an unmanned place. And I'm like, I'm going to go in there from 9 to 5 for a couple weeks and just sit there. Now you might ask, why would I do that? Well, it's a nice air conditioned place to be alone. uh, I will be there surrounded by artwork, and I'll be so bored, I'll be forced to do nothing but artwork in this space. And people can come in, it's open, and I can sell artwork and make connections and whatever. It'll be a nice, fun thing to do, you know. Marco's like, I'll give the organization. Another good thing is a gallery. They're not taking a bit out of my sales. Like usually it's a half and half. The gallery gets 50%. I keep 100% of my fucking sales, and I need the money.
Nice.
So, fuck yeah. And so Marco speaks up and he goes, I'm going to give 30% of my sales to the gallery. And I sat there like, I'm not giving shit. You know. But I am going to give my time. I'm going to fucking man the place for 40 hours a week, right? So anyway, so then they wanted to float like this funny thing, like, so what we're going to do on every Friday night is have a craft night where people can come with their kids and they can make artwork, and we'll set up tables, and women show up with their kids. Let's be honest. This is what it's about. Women show up with their kids to a free air-conditioned event where they supply the craft. And I'm like, I'm just thinking about my artworks around with kids with paint throwing it around. I'm not doing it. Absolutely not. I don't want kids throwing a scream and throwing paint, landing it on my artwork. I'm not doing it. So Marco shut that down as well as I. So, I mean, all the community style free-for-all that's going on with other artists, me and Marco have effectively shut down one by one.
I love it.
And I love it. Because, I mean, he's a serious... You would like this guy. He's like a Mexican Dan. But he's like... I haven't really gotten his personality out yet. But I will. He is funny, I can tell. He's got a deadpan. But anyway, I'm talking too much. I'm rambling. You should stop me when I ramble. But, I mean, that is what's going on. That big art show is coming up on July 19th.
Wow.
And I need the money. I need some of these things to fucking sell. So some of my bigger works are going to be priced to sell. $500, $400. Fucking buy this.
I hope, and we got to hope my RV sells. How about that?
Yeah, I hope your RV sells. What ballpark are we looking at here? Let me guess. You bought it for about...
No, I don't want to talk about it.
Right.
I don't. Let's just say.
Let's just say...
I'm only going to tell you what they have priced it at like 50
You don't even have to tell me what they priced it at.
They have priced it around
ballpark
in the early 50s.
Wow.
And at this point,
it's so gently used, though. It's worth it.
Yeah. I mean, I said to them when they called me, I said, I need this thing to move. You tell me what number makes it move quick.
Right.
That's what I said.
I like the, listen, I got to make this thing fucking move. What number is this going to move at? Let's move. Always be selling and closing.
Yes. ABC. So, yeah, we'll see.
Good for you, Dan.
We'll see. I mean, she said on average it takes 30 to 45 days. So, just hope for the best.
Good. Well, wish me luck. I play a concert tonight, too. I play a concert with a band called The Noodles, which is the Grateful Dead. One of the Grateful Dead bands. They're very jammy. It's very loose. They give you half the set list, and when you show up, you're on stage, and the keyboardist just starts going into something, and you better know that song. And if you don't, you're gonna fucking figure it out. I've played songs the whole way through, and
walk into the party
like you know what she says, like you were walking onto a yacht.
Oh my God!
You're,
I wish I could have been there for that Boomer show.
Bro, there's a lot of videos. I'll send you to it. It's horrible. It's just
you guys gonna play any Skinnerd or what?
No Skinnerd, but there was definitely, very, very boomery fucking. It was rough.
Up at the Hotel California.
And God bless him. The guy played everyone else was really good. These were seasoned dudes. Like the keyboard player was on it. Like I was probably the most ill-prepared person there. You know what I mean? I got through it just fine.
It's a little time I can.
And by the way, okay, so here's another part of the story. Place was packed, $50 a head, packed, with a bunch of fucking boomers who were coming in, dressed in. They had little headbands on too, with their wives. And so there was this other act, like after we played, was this act that there's going to be a burlesque act. And the burlesque act was very cheesy because it featured the burlesque act featured there was an MC. Hey, how you guys doing? With the worst voice. Hey, how you guys doing today? Let's bring one of you lucky men on stage right now. Huh? What's your name, Dennis? Bring Dennis up there. Oh, awesome, right? And these chicks, and I thought for a Woodstock themed burlesque act, are these chicks going to be old? Like, what's going on? No, Dan would have been nuts. You would have been nuts because there were at least like 12 chicks that were 25 years old that were just smoking.
Yeah.
Like distracting, like with wearing next to nothing. And they had like these hula hoops that are made out of metal hung from the ceiling. And they get in those and they turn around, they're blowing fire and this and that. Well, and all that's fine. But then they had another drummer. I saw this other drummer setting up. I'm like, excuse me, why is there another drummer here? And I started talking with him. There's another drummer and a guitarist. And the guitarist looks like Fabio. No shirt, fucking long hair. He's young guitarist, right? And the drummer looks good too, like in shape, whatever. And I start talking with the other guy. I'm like, hey, is there another band? I wasn't aware there's another band here. And they're like, yeah, we do the backing tracks for the chicks. Backing tracks? What does that mean? We play the backing tracks. They were playing over CD.
Wow.
It was fucking brutal. So they're playing like you can
That's
buy
wrong.
Bro,
wrong.
You can buy CDs with some things missing. You can buy CDs with the vocals missing. You can buy CDs with maybe the lead guitar missing.
Right.
And there's ways to buy this, but it's the fucking track. It's the CD. So they had a CD playing, and they were playing like so other type of boomery songs, whatever. And the drummer's playing on top of it. And he's got headphones on. I'm like, this motherfucker is playing to a CD. And I thought what I was doing was bad enough, note for note recreate. At least I'm playing like the song. This guy's over there playing over tracks, And it was funny because when the CD malfunctioned, which it did, you knew like, oh, huh? Bro.
All right. I gotta hit the road, my friend.
All right,
Wife and I
sorry,
are
I've
gonna
been
go out
yakking.
and get a sandwich.
Listen, I'll
nothing I
conclude
like
with this.
better.
I'm happy to speak with Dan again. Happy to be doing our podcast again. I know our fans, Ezra and everyone else, is like very excited to see these videos.
Yeah, the channel's back up. I'm going to
Back up.
We're gonna release this, and I appreciate everybody's patience. But yeah,
Yep.
we're back in
We
the
are, and we're
saddle.
going to get back more into the comedy aspect of the things and and just complaining.
Yeah.
But I will say the tone, like I don't want to be as negative a person as I was in the past.
No.
But we can still have fun, right? Like
Oh, of
that's
course.
the thing.
Yes.
Still have fun.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. All right. Goodbye to our audience. Thank you for tuning in.